Hey guys, it's Hillary. Welcome back to my channel, Enneagram and Coaching. I'm Hillary, your certified Enneagram coach. For those that don't know, I'm a type 9 on the Enneagram, and today I'm going to teach you guys about what it's like to work with a type 4 in the workplace. So you guys know, if you've watched my channel before, I'm super passionate about teaching people to love each other better, embrace each other better, grow together, accept each other's differences, learn that it's okay that people don't show up to life the way you show up to life, right? And so that's why I do this, that's why I teach this. And you guys know I love to do this. I give this to you guys through YouTube because I just firmly believe that learning each other's personalities is going to help us live more cohesively and better together and understand each other better and support each other better. And so that's why I do this. So keep watching and you're going to learn 10 tips about working with a type 4. All right, so where do I want to start? I want to start with who are they? Who are the type 4s? Well, they are called the romantic individualists. They want to be seen as unique and special in how they do things and how they relate to others. They are one of the most emotional types on the Enneagram. They have a hard time with small talk because they need deeper connections with the people in their life. They don't want to talk about the weather. They need deep, authentic connection. One thing I've heard said about the type 4s is that they don't just have feelings, they are their feelings. And so clearly feelings are extremely important to the type 4. Type 4s, they thrive in environments that allow them to be authentically themselves. They just enjoy having the freedom to be able to express themselves and building great relationships with their coworkers. And type 4s, they're in the withdrawn stance. The 4, 5, and 9 are in that withdrawn stance. And if you're not even for sure or you've never heard of the stances, I'll link that in the description box below because it's super important in understanding yourself at a deeper level, no matter what type you are. But so like I said, they're in that withdrawn stance. And another way to look at it is they might seem distant and reserved, especially in group settings. Another thing about the type 4, they need to feel respected in the workplace for their vision and their goals. They feel like they're different from other people and that no one might understand them. And so that could be really hard for them. Type 4s, they're highly intuitive, introspective, and self-aware. They also are compassionate and very tenderhearted. So that's just a little bit of who are they? Who are they in the workplace? So let's move on to the strengths of the type 4. What strengths do they bring? Well, the type 4, they're creative, empathetic, compassionate, and they are capable of great emotional depth. This emotional intuition that they have helps them to be able to sense how people are feeling, pick up on tensions and conflicts that might exist in the workplace or anywhere. They literally can pick up on that right away. They have that intuition. They can pick up on conflict in the workplace. They're just really sensitive to other people's feelings. And that's a great strength. Honestly, the capacity that they have for depth of feeling is huge. They usually are just amazing sounding boards and aren't afraid to empathize with others. Even if it means them sitting with you in a really hard and difficult place, they will sit there with you. They are not afraid of those kind of emotions, and they're more than willing to go to those hard places with you and just sit and listen. 4s are extremely authentic, and I honestly think being authentic takes courage, and so they are courageous people. They value being real, and they would always rather tell the truth, even if it upsets someone, because they want to be real and they don't want to be fake. They want to give you the real and honest truth because that's who they are. Another great strength is they can express themselves in so many different and unique ways. They find uniqueness and beauty in life. And I don't know, I love being around people like that. Another great strength that the type 4 may bring to the workplace is a lot of 4s have an artistic side. They really see what's beautiful and poetic in everyday life. They naturally tune into the aesthetics and looks for what can be done to make things more aesthetically beautiful. And so that's another great strength that the type 4s have. All right, so let's move on to some areas of development for the type 4. All right. One that just pops into my mind right away is notice how you compare yourself to others. Your attention sometimes might go towards what's missing in you. Just know and get that there's nothing missing in you in that moment. Discover in yourself the qualities that you might envy in other people. Discover them in yourself. They are in there. And so the thing is, stop comparing yourself, that you actually have the giftings if you just looked inward. Another area of development for the type 4s is they can start to be controlled by their emotions. They kind of just let them go and let them have free reign sometimes. And the area of development would be in that is, I know you are your feelings and that's okay, but try not to get lost in them. Another thing to be looking at is develop an ongoing awareness of your relationship with your emotions. start to be more aware of that relationship. Ask yourself some good questions like, am I suppressing them? Am I overindulging in them? Am I getting stuck in them? Am I getting stuck holding on to them? These are just some things to be watching for as you start to become more aware of your own feelings. Okay, so let's move on to you might be working with a type 4 if. 1, they always have ideas on improving the aesthetic elements in the workplace or whatever you're working on together. Number 2, they speak in terms of emotions and feelings. Number 3, they say they don't fit in and that people don't understand them. 4, they get sensitive and defensive if you don't like or appreciate their creative ideas. 5, they seem moody and temperamental at times. 6, they bring a sense of artistry and creative thinking in probably everything they do. Okay, so moving on to what's great about working with a type 4. Well, they can make you feel extremely supportive when you're going through a hard time and don't know what to do. They will be there for you. They will sit in it with you. They will just make sure you feel heard, you feel seen, and you feel supported. Another great thing is they are not afraid of hard conversations or giving honest feedback. Like me as a type 9, I'm like, no, it's so hard for me to do that. But a type 4, it's not hard for them. They want to be authentic, they want to be real, and they're great at giving that honest feedback. Another great thing about working with a 4, and I've found this to be true, is they make such a great effort to get to know you, to understand you, to connect with you. They bring a lot of passion and dedication to their work, especially if they love what they are working on. Man, they have just that passion and dedication, and it will be there and you will see it. And so that's such a great thing about working with them. And I kind of already hit on this at the beginning, but they're great people to talk to when you're walking through painful or difficult emotions. Like I said, they're going to be there. They're not afraid of those emotions. And so it's super important that they sit with you and understand you, and they're there for you. Okay, so let's move on to 4 say it's hard working with others because. And so what this means is when they're on a team with you or they work with you, they might say it's hard working with you because of these few items. The first one being they can have a difficult time relating to the people that they feel are inauthentic and fake. They will not be able to relate to that. Another one that they would say it's hard working with others is when people only want to talk about surfacey things, right? The weather or just like things that are superficial to the type 4, that makes it hard for them to work with you. They have depth, they have that emotional depth that they want to connect at that level with. They don't want to do the small talk. That's just not in them to want to sit down and do that small talk, and that actually feels extremely painful to them to have to do small talk. And just this surfacey stuff can actually make them feel kind of uncomfortable and awkward because they don't know what to say, because they don't know how to be, because it's not natural for them to be inauthentic. And so to have to find something that doesn't feel authentic to them to talk about, it is hard for the 4. Another thing a 4 might say is if someone hasn't taken the time to understand them, get to know them at a personal level, or it could be hard for them to work with that person. Another thing I've heard 4 say is they often don't feel understood. They feel misunderstood with the people they work with. So that's why I'm teaching this, right? So we can understand each other, because we literally need all 9 types on every team. Your team will be the most successful if you put all 9 types of people on your team. And by all 9 types, I mean 1 through 9, but I also believe your wings and subtypes will play a part. And so you have different types of 4s, different types of each type. All I'm trying to say is, you know, when the 4 says they often don't feel understood, well, that's why I want to teach this. And so that they do feel understood in the workplace and at home and everywhere they go. I just believe with everything in me that it's so important for us to understand each other and accept each other. I don't want a type 4 to feel like they have to show up as a type 9. Like, where's the freedom in that? Where's the understanding of each other and understanding and accepting each other's differences? I want a 4 to show up as a 4 because they only have those gifts to give. I can't give a 4's gifts. I'm not like a 4. And so it's important for each of us to embrace what is our own giftings and bring those to the table. I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I did, and I felt like it was important. So take it for what it's worth. And let's move on to the last thing a 4 might say it's hard working with others with, which is when people don't value their contribution or appreciate the work that they're doing, whether it be with the team or on a project. When that's not valued and appreciated, it can be hard for them to continue doing great work and working with their team. Okay, after discussing what makes it hard for a 4 to work with others, let's move into ways to communicate with the type 4, right? That's important that we learn that. And so let me cover a few ways to communicate with the type 4. First thing is be authentic and real. We keep saying these words, authentic, real, all these like words that are so important for the type 4. Be authentic and real, or your communication will stop or even cease to exist, because They can't do it, guys. They need it to be real. Another great way to communicate with them, tell them how much you appreciate them. Again, I kind of already hit on this, but I want to hit on it again. Tell them how much you appreciate them for who they are, and don't try and change them. That's important. Just appreciate who they are. Another great one, listen to them when they are expressing themselves so they feel valued and respected and cared for. And another one is encourage them to express themselves with clarity and balance, because if you don't let them do this, it might hurt their feelings. They want to be expressive. They want to be able to be themselves. I keep saying that over and over and over, but it's so true. Let the 4s be themselves. If you do, your team will be so much better for it. And so those are some great ways to learn to communicate with the 4 better. All right, guys, so let's move on to how to get along. As a 9 and a peacemaker, I'm like, oh my word, please get this, right? That's why I'm teaching this, because I want you guys to get along and understand each other and accept each other. And I'm a broken record on saying that during this whole entire video, but it's true and I believe it. One way to get along with the 4, don't try and change them. I've said it already, but don't try and change them. Be kind, empathetic, and understanding. 4s are sensitive to feeling misunderstood. Again, I've said that already. So make a sincere effort to understand them. See and acknowledge their gifts of intuition, vision, and creativity. Tell them what you genuinely like and appreciate about them. Be specific, but do not flatter them. Man, they will sniff that out right away. And if you're a 4 listening to this, you put it in the comment box below. Like, reaffirm that, right? You guys don't want to be flattered. You don't want people to be fake or, you know, play nice. You want them to be nice, and you want them to be kind, and you want them to be sincere and authentic, because it's important to show up to life that way. A big one is when they have a problem, do not tell them to look at the bright side. That won't help a type 4 at all. And if you're trying to help them, that's not going to be a way that you help them. And I guess that just leads right into let them express their emotions without trying to fix them. They don't want to be fixed. They want you to hear them out, not to react, and just to listen. So those are great ways on how to get along with a type 4. Let's move on to how to motivate a type 4. This is a good one, right? We always want to know what motivates each other, what motivates ourselves. I think it's huge in the workplace. So here are some great examples on how to motivate a type 4. It's important to understand that type 4s will be motivated to engage in their work if they have the freedom to express their ideas, concepts, and values. They need freedom to do that. Another way to motivate them is if they feel like it will challenge others towards growth or change. That will motivate them to do it. Another thing that will motivate them is if people are open to new ideas and ways of doing things, because they like to bring that up. They like to kind of challenge people and say, hey, here's a new idea, and people are receptive to that. That'll motivate them to want to do more. The last thing that I'll share about how to motivate a 4 is if they feel like their gifts and talents are valuable to the team, then that is motivation for them to do amazing work, because they are being appreciative and valued, and it's a big motivator for the type 4. Okay guys, so last one, growth practices for the type 4. 4s can grow through becoming self-aware of their own self-limiting habits and patterns. Recognize when you're comparing yourself and competing with others, and learn to rise above that mindset of measurement. Allow yourself to feel good about who you are without stacking yourself up against somebody else. Just recognize when you are doing that. That is a way that you will grow if you can become self-aware enough to be able to see that and recognize that and stop in your tracks. Another good way to grow is when you learn to value yourself. So that is the key here, right? Is to learn to value yourself and your own contributions so that you need less affirmation, that you're not dependent on affirmation from others. You can affirm yourself. That is super important to be able to do, which moves us into learn to have compassion for yourself. You're compassionate to others, but you also need to have compassion for yourself and value your own strengths. Start to see them. Call them out, write them down. You have so many, so it's really important that you have that same compassion that you give away for yourself too. Okay guys, so that's all I got today. Those were 10 things on working with a type 4 in the workplace, and I hope it, like I've said this like a broken record, I've said this so many times, but I just hope that it helped you understand the type 4 and gave you some good tools on being able to work better with the type 4. And if you are a 4, it helped you understand yourself even better, and so that the workplace is much more cohesive and that you love to go there and that you want to go and you want to show up and give your best. And if you like the video, guys, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate those thumbs, and don't forget to subscribe to the video. I have so much more coming your way. So this was video 4 of a 9 video series on how to work with each type. And if you want to see types 1, 2, and 3, which you guys know, I'm going to say you got to watch them because it's important for you to understand everybody in your life. I will link those in the description box below. And type 5, you're next on the docket. Your video is coming out next week. And if you want to find me other places, I'm on Instagram at Hillary_McCaskey_coaching. You can find me on my website, EnneagramandCoaching.com. I have lots of fun things on there. I do a Discover You package. I do a monthly coaching package. I even have an Enneagram blueprint now that you can purchase. So go find that on my website, see if it's something you'd be interested in. But that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking all the way to this point. You know I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And until next time, guys, bye.